Is it visible now?
Yes, Mataji.
So before starting, I'll just start with the prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Harai Krishnaya Tavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Namaha Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Jaya Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. So welcome you all to the Acharya series, and today we are going to learn about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay, Hare Krishna. So before starting on to that, this is a picture of our beloved Acharya Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. Okay, and Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine. So therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken the shelter of His lotus feet. Shri Varshabha Bhanavi Devadayi Taya Kripabhyate Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayini Prabhave Nama. So I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Varshabhanavi Devi Daita Dasa. That is another name of our Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is favored by Srimati Radharani and who is in the ocean of transcendental mercy and a deliverer of the signs of Krishna. Madhurvojvalya Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Sakti Vigrahaya Namosute. So, therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, the personified energy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, who delivers devotion service enriched with a conjugal love of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, coming exactly in the line of a revelation of a Sri Rupa Goswami. Namaste. Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarini Rupanuga Virudha Virudhapa Siddhanta Dhanvate Harini Dvanta Harini. So therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are the personified teachings of Lord Chaitanya. You are the deliverer of the fallen souls, and you do not tolerate any statement against the teaching of devotion service renunciated by the Sri Rupa Goswami. So we'll move on to the next slide. So while working to reform the Gaudava Vaishnavism in India, you know, before there were about 64 Gaudiya Vaishnava temples were there. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, who is preceding Acharya to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he prayed to Lord Chaitanya, your teachings have been much depreciated. It is not in my power to restore them. And he prayed for a son who can help him in preaching. Okay. So this is a picture of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and in the year 1874, February 6th, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was born to Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jagannath Puri. The Vaishnavas considered him the answer to his father's prayer, because his father was asking that I can't accomplish your mission completely. I wanted a son who can take this further, and Lord has listened to his prayer, and he was blessed with the son, and he named him as the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he was born with the umbilical cord wrapped around, that means cord around the neck, and draped across his chest like a sacred thread worn by a Brahmana. So by birth, it is significant that he is a true Vaishnava and a true Brahmana. So the parents gave him the name called Vimala Prasad. And when he was 6 months old, the carts of Jagannatha festival stopped at the gate of Bhaktivinoda Swami, Bhaktivinoda Thakur residence, and for 3 days could not be moved. So it's a miracle, right? Actually, it never happens. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur's wife brought the infant onto the cart and approached the deity of Lord Jagannatha. Okay. As spontaneously that the infant exceeded his arms and touched the feet of Lord Jagannatha, Hari Bol, and was immediately blessed with a garland that fell from the body of the Lord. So when our Bhaktivinoda Thakur learned that the Lord's garland has fallen onto his son, he realized that he is special child, and he has so much of a mercy of Lord Jagannath. Okay, when our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was 4 years old, and he was still a child, you know, his father rebuked him for eating a mango for not duly offered to Krishna. Okay, and that he has tried to discipline him, that he understood at the very young age, and he said, no, I will not eat hereafter without offering it to the Lord. So when he was 6 years old, father gave him a kurma deity to worship. Kurma, as you all know, it is the tortoise form. And when he was 7 years old, he has memorized the entire Bhagavad Gita, you know, the 700 slokas, and could ever explain its verses. His father then began training him in a proofreading and printing in conjunction with the publishing of the Vaishnava magazine, that is Sajjana Toshini. Okay, at the same time, so now not only the spiritual angle as well as in the other other aspects also started improving, like printing, proofreading, and all those things. So along with his father, he has visited many holy places and heard discourses from the learned Panditas. So at the age of 10, while attending the Serampur missionary school, he was initiated by his father into the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the Narsimha mantra. So fortunate that he got initiation at a very young age of 10 years. As a student, Bimla Prasad preferred to read the books written by his father instead of a school textbook. So he has that spiritual inclination for the very young age. And at the age of 16, he formed a society who took a vow to remain celibate throughout their life. Only Bimla Prasad could succeed in that. So he remained a brahmachari throughout his life. In the year 1893, he joined college. He was the most brilliant student of the college, but dropped it after 2 years. And reason being, he didn't want to entangle in the materialistic way of life. So in the year 1895, he accepted services offered by the king of Tripura to help the writing about the history of the royal family, gave him an opportunity to get involved in the studies because king has a gorgeous library. So there he continued for about 10 years and later he resigned from that post. So king granted him a pension throughout his life, initially accepting it, but later he stopped taking that pension also. So at the age of 27, okay, his father has guided him to take the initiation from a renounced Vaishnava saint, that is Gaur Kishore Dasa Babaji. So in this picture you can see Gaur Kishore Dasa Babaji, and who advised him to preach the absolute truth and keep aside all other work. So our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was more inclined to do the spiritual service, and here also the Acharya who was given the initiation also insisted on the same. So his father's desire was also the same. So receiving the blessings of the Gaur Kishore Babaji, Vimla Prasad, that is now Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, resolved to dedicate his body, mind and words to the service of Lord Krishna. So this is in the year 1905. He took the vow to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra a billion times, residing in Mayapur in a grass hut near the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. He chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra day and night. So he used to take cook rice only once a day in an earthen pot, and he ate nothing more. He slept on the ground, and when the rainwater leaked through the glass ceiling, he sat beneath an umbrella chanting. So he was so much engrossed in chanting the holy name and dedicating his life to the service of the Lord. So in the year 1911, an All India Conference of Pandita Asas, Midnapur, presided over by the Pandita Vishwambharananda Deva Goswami. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta take the place of Thakura Bhakti Vinoda, who was ill at that time. So he lectured to an astounding audience of a cooperative position of Brahman and a Vaishnava. So after the discourse, all the people came and he offered him respect and touched his lotus feet. The president of the conference called him on the other self of the Sri Sukadeva Goswami. So it's a great honor, isn't it? The lecture was subsequently published in a book in Bengali. So then he was much into the public by then. So in the year 1912, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati traveled and preached from different parts of Bengal. And in the year 1913, he established the Bhagavad Press in South Calcutta, which was later moved to Mayapur and then to Krishnanagar, now where he began to publish many carefully edited books because he was very expertise in that particular work. So altogether, he published and edited more than 61 works as well as the 18 different journals. 8 different journals. So, once he was being asked, how it is possible to publish a journal every month just about the God, he replied that in this world, there are thousands of newspapers and magazines reporting the stale reputations happening in a limited space. And for the reporting of the news of unlimited spiritual realm concerning the eternal, ever-fresh supreme personality of the Godhead, we would publish a magazine at every second. What to speak of a monthly? That means whatever the work he is doing, even on a monthly basis, he feels it is very less. So in the year 1914, his father passed away, that is Bhaktivedanta Thakur, and his spiritual master, that is Gaur Kishore Babaji, in the year 1915. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati continued the mission of Lord Chaitanya. So in the year 1918, in the Mayapur, he sat down before the picture of Gaur Kishore Dasa Babaji and initiated himself into the sannyasa order. So at that time, he assumed the sannyasa title Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. Okay, on the same day, he established his first Vaishnava monastery, that is the Chaitanya Mutt at the Sridham Mayapur, which became his preaching headquarters. Okay. Later, that year, one important figure in the popular religious organization met Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and was so impressed with the power of purity, and he immediately begged to become the disciple. he would arrange for the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati transportation between Mayapur and Kolkata and rented him a small house for him in Kolkata and for expanding the preachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. So the house became by the popular name called the Bhakti Vinoda Agana, and later it was called as Sri Gaudiya Mutt, and later moved to Laja Marble building in the Bagh Bazaar of the North Calcutta in the 1930. So after taking sannyasa, these are the advancement. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur then in quick succession after spread his Gaudiya mission to every part of India, attracting thousands of disciples to the banner of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would say in Bengali, Pran achhe yaar, say he to prachar. A person must have his life to be a preacher. A dead man cannot preach. Okay. So when some of his preachers was gone to chant and speak, reported that no one has attended the meeting, then what did Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati used to reply? It doesn't matter. The four walls will hear you. That is sufficient. Don't be disappointed. Go on chanting and in commenting on the fact that some of his disciples has fallen away, some of the soldiers will die, he said. At the time of passing from this world, he had opened near about 64 Gaudiya Mutts for the propagation of spiritual life and the Bhagavata philosophy. So he didn't stop. So nothing has demotivated him. He continued to spread the message of the God. In all those mutts, he established a worship of Archa Vigraha, that is a deity form of Lord, so that his disciple would not become impersonalist. The deity worship is the one as per 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which can take us to the Godhead. So we should not, so if the deities are properly installed and if it has to be worshipped, then automatically we can move forward. So all this, the deity worship was executed according to the principles of the Sanatana Goswami book of Vaishnava activities, that is Hari Bhakti Vilasa. So next, coming to the important point, like when did our Srila Prabhupada met his Guru? So our Abhay Charande met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the year 1922, that is few years after he took the sannyasa. And from 1928 to 29, he again traveled to various places from Assam to Punjab. During these, he gathered large number of authentic manuscripts of ancient Vaishnava writings, which can be started publishing, but he left unfinished. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was decided to use the printing press as the best medium for large-scale distribution of the Krishna consciousness. He thought of printing press as a Brihad Mridanga or the big Mridanga. So that was his dream. So, and many of the Srila Saraswati Thakur disciples, although initiated as Brahmanas and sannyasi, were not born in the Brahmana families, although along the way, while traveling, the so-called Brahmana shopkeepers would close their shops and refuse to sell provisions to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and his disciples. So, but still, he would preach strongly against all the nonsensical philosophy of the proud and arrogant caste Brahmin, but he always emphasized the needless of the material qualification to receive a spiritual life, isn't it? And they have proved it. So anyone, regardless of the caste, sex, nationality, past background, whatever it is, even if a person is belonging to a dog-eating family, if he is sincere in his spiritual life, he would give it to them. So the caste Brahmanas very much in their uproar about turning those not born in a Brahmana families into Brahmanas better than him. The Nityananda Vamshas especially plotted to assassinate him. Went to local police magistrate also to bribe him that he would not be apprehend them after the murder. So, so the police magistrate told him that although he usually accept the bribes, but he could not be connected with the killings of a sadhu, a holy man. The police magistrate then immediately informed Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in this way that Srila Saraswati Thakur's life was saved. So Krishna is there to save him, isn't it? So he was much powerful and a bold preacher that he could become known as a lion guru. Okay. Sometimes in the walk in the early morning, he could come across a big Mayavadi sannyasi and they used to physically grab him and shake him while verbally chastising him. But thereafter, whenever any Mayavadi saw him coming, he would flee in fear of they would flee in fear of him. So in the very beginning, when they don't know him, they used to do like that. But when they come to know about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they could not stand there. So one time, a big impersonalist Vedanta society in Calcutta invited to a debate on a condition that he could not use but Srimad Bhagavatam is a scriptural evidence, and so he agreed to come to a debate. Then after a short time, they called him again and he could not speak on Mahabharata, Ramayana and any of the Puranas or Pancharatnas. So he also agreed to come to those conditions. They called him and said that he could not be used as evidence of any of the Vedas, Upanishads, the Smriti text. So, but he could only speak of the Vedanta Sutras, as he agreed that also. And when he called for him, he could not come at all. So in the year 1930 and 31, a kind of spiritual education is exhibited to the benefit of the public and especially for the illiterate masses. So he was so strongly motivated. He left no stone unturned to teach the needy. So he also demonstrated many teachings of Vedic literature by means of large exhibition, that is in the form of pictorial presentation by means of dioramas, dolls in a live manner were employed. These wonderful exhibition attracted thousands of people. Eager to spread the Lord Chaitanya's message beyond the borders of India, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur sent some of his sannyasa disciples to England to preach and open up Gaudiya Math in the West. But not being able to convince the Westerners to take up the spiritual life. Yeah, and he was a bit unsuccessful in that. Fortunately, for the benefit of all the people over the world, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, the most beloved disciple of our Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has carried out Guru Maharaj order and spread the Lord Chaitanya's Nama Sankirtana movement across all the continent. So, what was incomplete? What was kept incomplete by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was pursued and accomplished by our Srila Prabhupada. So, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur likes to make his disciples into sannyasi, but one day one of his sannyasi disciples was forcibly dragged away by his wife in tears. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati lamented that he was unable to save that soul. So he did not speak disparagingly of Krishna consciousness family life. I would have sexed hundreds of times, but if I thought that I can raise the Krishna conscious children. So, okay, that's one lesson. And he would send his brahmacharis to sell the Gaudiya Math magazines and books. And if the brahmacharis were not able to sell any one or two, then he would please him in very much, and he would explain. He was so nice in considering whether essays were worthy or not. He would count that how many times the word Krishna or Chaitanya have been used. So he used to feel good for that. All right. So this will definitely help you. So he was so motivating by himself as well as to the others, but he did not want his disciple to lead an easygoing life. So he used to insist to practice austerities in seclusion. So he would sing a song of his own composition, Dushtamana, Tumi Kisera, Vaishnava. So my dear friend, what kind of Vaishnava are you? You are chanting Hare Krishna in a solitary place, imitating the great saints Haridas Thakur and Rupa Goswami, but your meditation is actually to think of women and money. So your mind is filled with such dirty things that so your bhajana is also simply cheating. Okay, therefore, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta never liked to open a branch of Gaudiya Math in the place where he was not much populated. So, in the year on January 1st, 1937, he disappeared from this material world, and this is the Samadhi of Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami, and he is the founder Acharya of Chaitanya Math and Sri Gaudiya Math. And he has been spending his last days reading the Chaitanya Charitamrita and chanting on his beat. When the doctor has visited him, wanted to give him an injection, he said, why are you disturbing me in this way? Simply chant Hare Krishna, that's all. So it specifically and openly ordered all the affairs of Gaudiya Math to be maintained by the 12-man governing body, that is GBC, which the devotees should select among themselves. So with that word, he left his material body and disappear from this material world. Amongst his last word to disciples were, I advise all to preach the teachings of Rupa Raghunatha, that is, disciples of Lord Chaitanya, with all energies and resources. Our ultimate goal should be to become the dust of the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunatha Goswami. You all should work conjointly under the guidance of spiritual master with a view to serve the absolute knowledge and personality of the Godhead. You should live somehow or other without any quarrel in the mortal world, only for the device of only in the service of the Godhead. Do not please give up the service of Godhead. In spite of all dangers, all criticism, all discomfort, don't be disappointed. For most of the people in the world do not serve the personality of the Godhead. Do not give up your own service. which is you are everything and all, neither reject the process of chanting, hearing of the transcendental holy name of the Godhead. You should always chant the transcendental name of the Godhead with the patience and forbearance like a tree and humbleness like a straw. There are many amongst you who are well qualified and able workers, and we have no other desire whatsoever. Okay, so let's conclude by saying Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, any doubts? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, any doubts? Okay, fine. Okay. So we'll resume next Monday at 8 p.m. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you, participants, for your active participation. See you all next Monday at 8 p.m. Hare Krishna.